Oh, hi, and welcome to today's show. Today we will be learning about sound and how it can change the meaning of poetry. There are 4 things that can change the meaning of a poem. The sound of words, combining the sounds of words, the speed of the poem, and controlling the meter to emphasize certain words. Let's begin the show.
Oh, slap!
That is a perfect segue into our first topic of how the sound of words can change the meaning of a poem, such as onomatopoeias and phonetic intensives. We are now here with our first guest, Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar, can you give us an example of an onomatopoeia?
Caw, caw, quoth the raven.
That's a terrific example of an onomatopoeia. Notice how caw is both a word and a sound, and how it usually makes you think of a bird or raven. Now, Edgar, can you go deep within your artistic mind and give us an example of a phonetic intensive?
In the darkness of the cabin, the flame flickered gloriously as the glow flew all about the room.
Notice how the words flicker, flame, and flew all start with the first 2 letters of FL. Those 2 letters usually give a meaning of movement or life, such as a fire. Let us move on to our next segment.
Thank you, sir.
Now let's move on to our second topic, the combining of words and how they change the meaning of a poem. Long vowel words tend to give a softer, more musical feel to a poem. Short, harsh consonant words tend to give a rough sound. Let's move on to our second guest. We are now here with our second guest, Mr. Robert Frost. Mr. Frost, can you give us an example of how vowels can make a poem sound smooth?
Bruh, you know I can. The long-haired beach babe was such a beauty in the blowing wind. It's like alliteration, brah, but it wasn't, man.
Notice how the use of a lot of vowels rather than consonants make the poem seem more kinder and loving. Now, Mr. Frost, can you give us an example of a harsh, rough poem?
Yeah, I can, brah. The clock struck 10 at midnight. The clock sucked. These
Sorry about that. Mr. Frost had to leave unexpectedly. But notice how the poem was harsh due to the excessive amount of consonant sounds. Now let's move on to our third segment. Now, our third topic talks about speed and how it affects the meaning of a poem. Iambic pentameter is a form of verse that many poets use to control the speed of their poem. I'm here with my good friend William Shakespeare, who is a master of iambic pentameter.
Oh, yeah, it's good to see it, Jakey.
Yes, it is. Now, William, can you give us an example of iambic pentameter?
Yes, I can. A verse from my old friend, Dr. Susie. I wish I were a fish.
Now, can you give us the same verse, but with a different meaning?
Yes. I wish I were a fish.
Notice how it was slowed down with more pauses, giving it a more melancholy, sad feeling. Can you do that again, William, but with another meaning?
Yes. One moment, please. I'm ready. I wish I were a fish.
Notice how the lack of pauses and breaks gave it a more needy, wanting feel. Thank you, William. That was very helpful.
Oh, no problem, Jakey. Anytime.
Are we still down
absolutely.
for golf Saturday?
Yes, we're down for golf with Obama, of course.
Yes.
All right. Good day.
Good day. Now we move on to our fourth and final segment of today's episode of how controlling measure and verse can affect the meaning of a poem. A couple examples are emphasis and parallelism. I'm here with Walt Whitman to help give examples. Walt, can you give us an example of emphasis?
Oh, I certainly can. For example, this following sentence, you can emphasize 7 different words and get 7 different meanings. I didn't say she stole my money. 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 There you have it.
Notice how in each of those sentences the meaning was different just because of the emphasis. Now, Walt, can you give us an example of parallelism and how it can change the meaning of a poem?
Well, to seek, to want, to find parallelism.
Notice how the repetition of the phrase to blank gave a meaning of wanting or yearning. Now, I just would like to thank you for watching today's episode as we wrap it up. I hope you all have a great day.